Alright guys, first things first, we are going to pack a stereo real quick. This is that Marantz stereo that I showed you guys yesterday. It sold pretty quickly. You got 90 bucks plus shipping. I did charge $5 handling, and you can see so far I'm probably into this for about $1 worth of bubble wrap. Went around it several times in several directions. Really want to protect those knobs. You can see it's very thick here. I did buy a box. I've got at least 2 inches clearance in every dimension, and I'm going to fill that with peanuts. So I did charge $5 handling, and I'm going to spend that or maybe even a little more on my packing materials, but it's worth it. And most of you electronics buyers are definitely willing to pay for a little extra care on your packaging. So, and I've shipped, I don't know how many stereos. Usually receivers are heavier than this. This is a small one. This one only weighs 18 pounds, which, believe it or not, is pretty light. I would say most of your modern receivers are weighing closer to 25, and they're also bigger. This is actually, I think, probably for like a full-size receiver, this is probably the smallest I've ever shipped. Okay, now I've got peanuts, a couple inches of peanuts in every dimension, and we're good. And that's a nice box. This is like a 16, 8 box, so it's ready to go. Okay guys, so I am on my way to FedEx. Got 2 packages to drop off again. Seems like an everyday thing, which is not bad. That means stuff is selling. Typically don't bring real cheap stuff to FedEx, so that is good news. So I was thinking, the other day I spent like, I don't know, like 20 minutes, and I don't have like a huge subscriber base, but I spent like 20 minutes actually answering questions / comments, you know, and I love getting the comments. I love getting the questions. I really do appreciate the interaction. But while I was doing it, I was thinking, you know, this is kind of dumb, like answering questions with text when I know I'm going to be shooting a video the next day. So I think for a lot of the questions, I may respond see next blog or see next vlog instead of actually typing out an answer, because a lot of times on the vlogs I'm sitting there wondering what am I going to say. So I'm going to let you guys write some of that for me, and I'll just steal your questions and put them in the vlog, and at least that way whenever I talk about it, at least I know one person wanted to hear about it. At least if there's something I concoct, it might just be me, it might not be anybody that's interested. So look for a little change there. If you see next vlog, that's what I'm referring to. Now I did get a comment in the last vlog, Phoenix something reseller, very generously offered to give me a few tips on repairing vintage stereos. He said the Marantz was a quick fix, and yeah, I don't doubt that. I do appreciate the offer. I did decide quite a while ago that I'm not really willing, I don't really want to fix anything. I want to focus on reselling and not fixing. You know, obviously I'll change out batteries and stuff like that, you know, which is not really fixing anything. And, you know, I am comfortable with electronics. That's not the point. I just don't want to have to set up like a shop and start stocking all that stuff. And I've been getting a few vintage stereos lately. Typically I don't get that many. I might change my mind. Like if I really find myself starting to source a lot of stereos, I might start cleaning them up. I might start, you know, but I know it could be a rabbit hole sometimes. You crawl in there, right? Like you might think it's one thing, you do it, and then it's still got another problem. And even though you spent time on it, you still haven't added value because it's not 100% yet. So I don't know. I just, at this point, I don't want to fix stuff. But I do appreciate the offer. And I thought it was interesting. I'm bringing that stereo to FedEx. The guy that made that comment is actually Phoenix something reseller, which I guess is Phoenix, Arizona. Guess where I'm shipping the stereo to? Arizona. I don't think it's Phoenix, but it's Arizona. So not sure if it's you that bought it, but if it is, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can fix it quickly. So Gerardo asked in that same vlog, asked me if I could do a video of my photo setup. And Gerardo, I'm gonna try and remember. I very rarely do remember, I know. I'm gonna try and remember to link the video that I made. I think it was back in January when I bought my current setup. And I could tell you about it though. It's real simple and real cheap. I spent about 30 bucks on eBay for a 33-inch umbrella light set. And if you go to eBay and search, type in Lusana, that's Lusana, 2 light umbrella, and it will pull up exactly what I bought. It's just got 2 hot lights, 2 umbrella stands, 2 umbrellas. Put it together, plug them in, and aim them at your stuff. You know, put them on either side, kind of towards the front, angled in. You know, don't want the direct head-on light bouncing straight back at the camera. You kind of want like I don't know, what do you call that? Offset lighting, whatever it is. So I got a few. Another thing that I have with that set, I just put it on a table, and the bottom where I actually set the stuff to photograph and the back are both just pieces of foam board that I bought at Walmart. Those foam boards cost like $1.60 a piece, and they're pretty good size. I can even shoot like stereo receivers on them, no problem. So what do I think about my setup? I think it's cheap. You know, like I said, it's like $33 all in, and I think it's cheap. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it'll work for absolutely everything. I think it works really well for what I shoot, which is a lot of hard goods, a lot of electronics, very few clothing items. Now, the limitations with 2 lights, you're not going to be able to really light up the background much. You're not going to be able to blow that out. If you want to do that, you'll probably have to go in and edit the photos. I'm not willing to do that with the stuff that I'm shooting typically. So, you know, that's one of the limitations, I would say. I do think my items are lit up really well. I think they're very clear. I think I'm at the point with my photography for my items where you really have diminishing returns on anything else you would do, whether that be as far as equipment or time spent. I don't think it would be worth it. So I think I am good enough, and you have to find your own good enough. Like if you're shooting Rolex watches, your good enough is going to be way different from mine. If you're shooting clothing, I think your good enough should be a lot better than mine. And I don't think that light set that I'm using is necessarily going to be a good fit. I think you're going to need, I think people are getting like excellent results from like large softbox type things for the clothing items. You want a big light source for that stuff. What else? Oh, if you watch that video, whenever I'm kind of showing off that lighting, or it might be in another video where I'm showing a light box. I'm trying to show the reason why I shoot with a DSLR, and I match up my photos from my DSLR I match the photos up against I had some dude like raising the roof just now in this car next to me. I don't know if he saw me talking or what, or if he's just, I don't know. Anyway, at the end of the video, I showed the photos from the DSLR, and I showed the photos from my cell phone to say, look how much better they are from the DSLR. Well, it turns out the cell phone photos were either as good or better than the DSLR. So actually, since that day, I've used nothing but my cell phone, and it's an older one. It's an iPhone 5S, so it's not even a late model cell phone. So yeah, that's what I use, guys. And you know, I know my photos aren't the best. I've seen a lot better, especially on Instagram. A lot of the clothing sellers really knock it out of the park. But I think mine are good enough, and I get a ton of compliments on them. So I don't think I'm hurting my prices at all with the photos I'm taking. So yeah, that's what I'm using, guys. Okay, one other thing I wanted to mention about this trip I'm taking right here is the shipping. So I always try and offer several options for shipping, and I try and put the one that I think is going to make the most sense or be the most affordable for the most customers first, because eBay is going to default to that shipping method first. I mean, I wish eBay would automatically just show the cheapest shipping method, but they just don't. So what you'll have a lot of times is, even if you offer like on this receiver back here, I offered SmartPost, I offered FedEx SmartPost, offered FedEx Ground/Home delivery, and I offered USPS Priority. And I used SmartPost as the first option because I thought it would probably be cheaper usually. So the receiver's going out to Arizona, and I looked at the shipping, and it was going to cost $24 and something. So just to check real quick, I checked. I knew Priority was going to be more expensive than that. It just is going that far with something that heavy. So I didn't even look at that, but I did look at FedEx Ground, and FedEx Ground came in at, actually it's FedEx Home Delivery, came in at $18 and change. So still going to the FedEx terminal to drop the package off, but I'm saving $6. So, and it's a better service. It's going to be like, you know, 3-4 day service, probably maybe 3 to 5 days. SmartPost was going to be at least that, if not longer. So, you know, be sure and check all the methods. Be sure and offer more methods. Now, obviously, if somebody pays for Priority, you can't really downgrade to ground transportation. But if somebody pays for FedEx Ground, or if they pay for SmartPost, you can definitely upgrade, especially if it's cheaper. So, always check. Okay guys, so this is why I don't mind going to FedEx. So I just duck in this Goodwill. This is like right across the street. You saw the drive. And I found a pair of Sennheiser, and they are model, these stickers off of here, Sennheiser model HD 202s, and they're just plug-in headphones, and you know what? They sound pretty damn awesome. I plugged them into my cell phone and listened to some music for a second, and they work great. Both channels are good, and they sound really, really good. Like, I've listened to some high-end headphones before, and they're not quite that. They're not quite like the powered high-end headphones, but golly, that's pretty convenient not having to have a battery in them and get that kind of sound. Just really good stuff. It's hard not to keep them. The good thing is the ear cups are in terrific condition. A lot of times you can see bad little ear cup things. They'll be worn out or something like that, and they do sell replacements, so don't let that totally stop you. But these are just in terrific condition. I would be surprised if I don't sell them within 2 days. And they should get about 25. I looked them up real fast. It looked like to me I could get about $25, $26, $27, especially based on the condition. So really good score there. So that turns a trip that was costing me money in the form of time and fuel to bring stuff to FedEx to being something that I'm making a little money on. So that is why I love to go to FedEx and stop at Goodwill. I wouldn't make a trip just to go to Goodwill, but whenever I do go and get a little score, it's just so bonus. So bonus. All right, guys, so I'm back home, and look, I looked up the value of that, the value of those headphones, and the prices I was looking at were actually new prices, so I'm going to get less than that, obviously. I'm not going to quite get 25, 26 bucks. Might be more around 20, but we'll see. I only paid $2.99, so I'll do fine on them. So what am I doing now? I have this Toshiba. This is like probably about 5 or 6 year old laptop. It's a C655. Probably about 80 bucks, I would imagine. I need to research it. I don't do full research until I actually go to sell it, and then I actually find out what it is. And I will put a quick video up, whenever I use it. It worked really well on the last few laptops that I did. So this has Windows 7 on it, and it boots up fine and it works. No issues there. The only problem with the laptop is it has some kind of weird user restrictions on the operating system. I think it was a kid's laptop. It's also full of viruses, so I really want to just wipe it clean and start over. I tried doing the restore function key combination. Apparently that restore partition is not on this laptop. So what I'm doing now is you can download, actually I'm going to put the link down below maybe, but if you search, you could actually download the Windows install. Alright guys, so there's the laptop there. I thought I was going to be able to actually download a Windows image and just punch in the 25-digit code that's on the bottom of the laptop, but then Windows said that since it's OEM software, the software has to come from Toshiba. All the ISO links I saw online were dead. So I could contact Toshiba, but I really don't want to put any more money into this thing. I bought a charger already. That's about it. So I'm going to throw Linux Mint onto this thing and just let it go like that. Get the best I can. So that's what I'm doing now, guys. I had that little thumb drive plugged into this computer, and I'm going to install Linux Mint on it and see what we can do. Okay, guys, so got Linux installed on the hard drive now, and I have this little thumb drive with the Linux files, bootable thing or whatever on it. I want to use that later, but worked out pretty well. I cleaned it up a little bit. So it's a pretty nice little laptop. And guys, these little boards here, those are the ones I got from Walmart for like $1.60 a piece, I think. Together with these two umbrellas here, they do a pretty decent job. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty clean looking laptop. I think, let me log in real quick. I think it's got some battery left. Let's see. It says 5 hours and 37 minutes remaining, but that's probably not accurate. I typically, whenever I sell a used laptop, I tell them whether the battery takes a charge or not. I don't get real specific on how long it lasts because it totally depends on what you're doing. But I do say whether it takes a charge and whether it will run on battery, and this one will. I will shoot a quick video showing the laptop. I'll probably run the internet speed test with the video running. Then I'll just kind of show off like what CPU it has, the disk drive capacity, all that kind of stuff, And yeah, that's about it. So this is ready to list. It's not great having Linux on here instead of Windows. It'll limit the market a little bit, but still, 60 something, $70 laptop off of $5. So that is that. All right, guys. So not a ton of content today. I've been listing, piddling around, driving around a little bit. We're gonna do barbecue tonight, so I'm gonna finish listing that laptop, and then it's probably time for me to fire up the grill and do that, have a few beers, stuff like that. So remind you guys that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time, we are going to have Cajun Pickers show. That's going to be me, Michael, who is, Kinetic Energy, and Swamp Picker, Glenn Gillespie. We are going to be doing the Cajun Pickers show live tomorrow. So join us if you can, and talk to y'all later, guys. Bye-bye.